All right. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you do the practice quiz first by yourself before you get help from Newbold, because there's no point in doing anything with me unless you try it yourself, because you're not going to be able to use my videos on the quiz or the test. So make sure that you get homework help right now. And so go ahead and unpause me. I'm waiting. Do number 1 first, do number 2 first. When you're done with it, unpause me and see how you did. That's how it'll be the best strategy for doing these. So let me double check the voice is working. It's working. Okay, so here's number 1, subtraction. So the easiest way is that's actually a -1 right there. And so a negative, and is technically a -1 that we could distribute to make it easier. And so we're going to distribute that through, so we get a -4x cubed, a -8x, and a -12x to the 4th power. Why did we do that? So that we could scribble it out, and just now that becomes a plus. So now we can just combine like terms, which is awesome. Okay, so we got a highest power first, so 7x cubed with a -4x cubed. 7 minus 4 is 3. So we have 3x cubed, beautiful. Then we have a 9x squared with a, that's it? Wow. So we don't combine that with anything. We have a -12x to the 4th power? Okay, I guess that should be listed first. Highest power first. There we go. Moving right along. Wah, 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 wah. Last of all, we have a -11x and a -8x, which gives us a -19x. So that's how we combine like terms, subtraction. That was definitely a bit harder probably than number 2 is going to be. So number 2, we have a 3r to the 5th power, and this time we can do a plus straight away, so don't have to change the signs. So 3 minus 2 is 1. R to the 5th power, when we combine those, check, check. Then let's see what's next with our powers. Then we have a -4r cubed with the 1r cubed. So we do a -4 plus 1 is -3. So we have a -3r to the 3rd power. Excellent. Got our cubes done there. I see a 2r next. So let's see here. So we're just going to bring it down because it doesn't have anything to combine with. And then we also have a half circle, -2 and 6 that we can combine. And 6 minus 2 is 4. That's the answer. So if you really wanted to make sure that you did it right, you could choose a number like maybe r equals 2 or 3. And then plug it in everywhere you see an r. Plug it in everywhere you see an r. Get an answer. And then you plug it in here as well everywhere you see an r. And you should get that same value, whatever it is that you plug in a 3, because this is just a reduced form of the first problem. So your answer is just a reduced form of the problem, so you should plug in a 3 and get the same answer. For time's sake, I won't be able to do that with you, but definitely a good hint there. Ooh, number 3 is another subtraction and addition. What? So I would go ahead, that -1, distribute it through, and then we change it to an addition. So this will become a plus, this will become a negative, because we're distributing the negative through. So -9m to the 4th power and a -6m squared. And now we have a plus m to the 4th power plus 3 minus m squared. And so we're just going to combine those now with the 5m to the 4th plus 6m squared plus 4m. Excellent. Wow, lots of terms to combine. Let's go and start with the 4th power it's looking like. So we have a 5m to the 4th power and a -9 and a 1 and a 1. So 5 and 1 is 6, and 6 minus 9 is -3. So we have -3m to the 4th power. The m 4th power just comes along for the ride. We're not multiplying it, so it just comes along for the ride. Then we have a 6m squared and a -6m squared and a -m squared. So those two will cancel. 6 minus 6 is 0, goes away. So we just have a -m squared. Beautiful. Then what do we have left? Let's see. M to the 4th was done. Excellent. That's done. So we have a 4m left. And we already added the plus 1m to the 4th power. So we get rid of that one. So we just have a 4m left and a plus 3. Let's double check our answer key that Mr. Merkley made for us. Thanks, Mr. Merkley. And that is what he got too. Perfect. There we go. So we can actually double check our answers because he also made an answer key as we went along. Immortalize him. And yep, that's what he got on all these problems so far. Okay, so next is number 4. Number 4 is going to require a lot of multiplying, okay? So that means we're going to be adding powers and bringing them along for the ride too. So 2y times y squared is 2y. So 1 there and then 2 there. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3. Then we have 2y with negative 6y is negative 12y squared. Multiplying the 2 and the 6 is 12, negative. And then y and y is y squared. Beautiful. Then we have the 2y with the 8, which is going to be a 16y. Guaranteed to see this on the test. Quiz next time. Okay, then we multiply negative 3 through as well. So we can use a different color if you're sick of blue. Okay, fine. There we go. So negative 3 times y is negative 3y squared. Negative 3 times negative 6 is a positive 18y. And then negative 3 times 8 is a negative 24. Now we do need to combine terms. Look how I lined them up. Combine like terms. So the 2y cubed just comes down. Negative 12 and negative 3 is negative 15y squared. Excellent. And then, wow, 16 plus 18 is that 34, I believe. You could double check me there. So 34y and then minus 24. And that's what Merkley got too. Must be right. He's my student teacher. For those of you that are in A-Day. He's in B-Day with me. Excellent. There we go. So there's how we do that multiplying and combining one. You will see one of each of these on the quiz. Pascal's our favorite. Check the time. We're doing good. What are we at right now? I can't even see it. There's so many numbers going on. Can you see? Where we? Oh, there it is. 7 minutes. We're doing good. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's see here. So Pascal's expanding, right? So Pascal's triangle involves doing a 1 and then a 1, 1. And that's row 0 and row 1. Then a 1, 2, 1 has a 2 in it, so that's row 2. And then 1, 3, 3, 1 comes from, so we're adding the 1 and the 1 and getting a 2. We're adding the 1 plus the 2 to get a 3, adding 2 plus the 1 to get another 3. And you always have a row 1s going outwards. There it is. So we're going to go ahead and use 1, 3, 3, 1 because that is row 3, which is this guy right here, row 3. So we're going to go ahead and use a 1, 3, 3, 1. Awesome. And then we're going to use that x, and we're going to write it everywhere. So I'm going to use a different color. So we're going to put x, x, and x, and x. And then we're going to use the highest power to lowest power, starting with row 3. So 3, 2, 1, 0. And then we're going to use the 5 next. So I'll use another color. And so then we'll put a 5 in parentheses everywhere. But this time, instead of doing high to low, what are we going to do? That's right, low to high. Don't forget to pause me and try it on your own. That's the whole point of these videos, is just to check your answers, really. The best way to learn is to not just watch me, but learn on your own. And then once you get it, push play, see if you get it. So we're going to go ahead and do low to high now. So instead of 3, 2, 1, 0, we're going to do 0, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Getting our big fat 4-termed answer for x plus 5 times x plus 5 times x plus 5 3 times. So that now we're going to go and put pluses there. And we're going to go ahead and just go through each one carefully and multiply stuff out. So 1 times x cubed is x cubed. 5 to the 0 power, anything to the 0 power is just a 1. So 1 times x cubed is just going to be x cubed. Plus 5 to the first power is just 5 times 3 is 15. And then bring down the x squared, bring down the x squared. 3 times 5 is 15. Then we have another plus. 5 squared is 25. And 25 times 3 is 75. And so just bring down the x. And then the last one is x to the 0 power is just a 1. And so 1 times 5 cubed, well, 5 times 5 times 5 is 25 times 5, which is 125. So that's how you do number 5. Excellent. Pause me. You try now. Number 6. Do row 5. Do it. Do it. Okay, so do row 6 next. So row 6 is going to involve, row 5, sorry, but it's problem 6. So now we're going to go ahead and do what's after, that's row 3. So row 4 would be 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4, and then 1. Beautiful. So 1, 4, 6, 4, 1 is row 4. Row 4, but we need row 5. That's supposed to say row 4. But we need row 5. So row 5 is another 1, but this time 1 plus 4 is 5. Then 10. 6 plus 4 is 10, 5, and 1. So we are going to be using 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. So we're going to need a little bit more room. So I'll go to move our triangle out of the way to do number 6. And then we'll go ahead and do down here now. So we're going to go ahead and do using those 6 numbers, row 6. So we're going to go ahead and do 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1, and probably spread them out a little bit more because we're going to need lots of room there. Lots of room. Excellent. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to use an X is what we're going to use first, all the way across. Pause me. You do it first. You know what you're doing? Do it. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and put X everywhere now. Next to each one of our... And so we're going to have a 6-term answer. That's crazy. You did that sucker by hand. That would take forever. Okay, so then we're going to do highest power to lowest power. And so we're doing to the 5th power, so that's going to be row 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Excellent. And then we'll use a different color. What's your favorite? Orange. Ooh. There we go. So then orange is going to be -6 now, which is our next term. And so we're going to do -6 all the way across, right? You're just going to multiply that second term. This is a beautiful, amazing Pascal. So glad he came up with it. There's a few other people, Shengshu, can't remember his name, but a few different people came up with this. And it's a powerful way to expand binomials, which is amazing. Okay, instead of doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, we're going to go the other way now. So high to low. Now we're going to low to high. So 0, 1, 2. Remember this? 3, 4, and then 5. Beautiful. So now we're going to go through each one of these now and get our final answer by just kind of simplifying each one for number 6. So we are going to have, well, it looks like there's going to be pluses, but then that -6, tricky, whenever it's an odd power, it'll stay negative, and that'll change the sign in our answer. So first start with this one, -6 to the 0 power is just a 1. So 1 times 1 times 1 times x to the 5th power is just x to the 5th power. Okay. And I'd like to put a plus on this next sign, just like that. But there's a -6 there. And so -6 times 5 is going to be -30. And then bring down the x to the 4th power. So, oops, what the? Yep, you sure? Yep, that's right. Awesome, there we go. Okay, so -6 squared now is going to be a +36. That's a good thing. So times by 10 is going to be 360. X to the 3rd power. Then -6 times -6 is 36 times -6. Oh dear. So that's going to be like -216. That's crazy. So -216 and then times it by 10. So that's going to be a -2,160. Crazy. Squared. That was a crazy one. Okay, -6 times -6 is 36. And 36 times 36, I have no clue. So we'll go ahead and do 36 times 36, which is the same as -6 to the 4th power. You can use your calculator for that. Yep, we're getting 1,296. Then we're going to times it by that outside leading coefficient 5, and that's going to give us 6,480. So, and a positive. So plus 6,480x. Beautiful. And then our last one is -6 to the 5th power, which is going to be a negative times a negative is a positive. So negative is a positive, negative is a positive. So those become positives, but that last negative will make the whole thing negative. And then 6 to the 5th power is 7776. So there is our answer for number 6. Hope you got that right. Hope you're acing this. So we'll make one more video to bust it out with our second section. Thanks for being here and watching. Make sure you do it first, then check your answers with Newbold. Next video.